Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's nice to see you. Very nice to see everyone. Can you hear me okay, Nina?
Yes.
All right. Well, welcome. We had a really good board meeting yesterday, and there was really only 3 big items on it because we went deep in some. And so this is just to give you an update. Do you hear that music? You can hear that music, right?
Yeah.
Hearing voices.
That's nothing new.
Just want to confirm.
You're hearing this too.
This is actually an interesting week, a good week for me personally, because we had a really nice board meeting last night, and we went deep on a few things we'll talk about. The board and I get to be together on Wednesday, and we're going to have our first time we've done a board self-evaluation. And we're going to be up here in conference room 3, and they've filled out the evaluation sheet, and we have Ron Bennett coming in. He's with CSBA, California School Boards Association. He's going to facilitate us through that. And then on Thursday, you get to be at the board again. And we're going to go deep and study our district STEM strategy: science, technology, engineering, math. And so last night was the beginning of a good week as the board comes together and really learns about the things we're doing here in the district. So this is the season, and we should give a standing ovation to HR because it's amazing the dozens and dozens and dozens, hundreds of paperwork they're going through, but then the interviews and the employees. And so we had to be strategic. We knew there'd be 2 opportunities this week. So we brought in 6 last night, and we're bringing in 5 or 6 more on Thursday of folks to introduce to the board. We try to bring people in that are meeting into the LCAP. The LCAP calls for different positions, or perhaps we're replacing principals and those types of things. So it's not every employee, but those specifically we want to help the board understand. And last night it was all with the site, pretty much. We had 2 here at the district office. So let me introduce them to you. A lot of it assistant principals at the elementary level. So Israel Leon, assistant principal at Washington Elementary School. And I'm going to read brief bios for these folks. Are we okay with that? So Mr. Leon began his teaching career in Banning Unified in 2006. He was a dual immersion math and science teacher, and he's going to Washington Elementary, a dual immersion school. He became a dean of students in 13 and 14, and I believe he was still in Banning Unified. Currently, the last couple of years, he's actually been here in Riverside at Poly High School. He is the school credit recovery teacher, and so he's had a wide variety from elementary up through high school, and he is going to go be the assistant principal at Washington Elementary School. So that's Israel Leon is that person. So he's not here, but I feel like we should applaud for him. Next one, wonderful young lady, Tamesia Hanford. Just met her. She just got married. She is from Elk Grove, which is up in the central California area, kind of by Fresno, in that area. Sacramento, thank you. Big district, really big district. One of the top, I think they're in the top 10, top 15 for sure in the state of California. Big district. And Miss Hanford started her teaching career in 2004 in Texas. And she's taught math. She became a behavioral specialist in elementary school. She then was a program specialist, a lot of special ed experience in Texas and in Nevada. And in 2012, she moved to Elk Grove. So why Southern California? She just got married. And he is from Corona. And I think that he works in Fontana, right? Remember that? So they just got married. She's relocated down here, and she's going to be the new assistant principal at Twain Elementary School. So that's Tamesia Hanford. Then we have Terry Hong McAndrew, assistant principal at Lake Matthews Elementary School. And Miss McAndrew began her teaching career in 1997 at Warm Springs Elementary School in San Bernardino Unified. In 2012, she moved to Thompson Elementary School, also in San Bernardino. She's been a resource teacher, Currently, she's a program facilitator in San Bernardino. That's similar to our assistant principals, and they call them program facilitators. And so she's in charge of the typical stuff, the discipline, the school site council, the testing, the SSTs, IEPs, all that stuff. She currently works at Parkside Elementary School in that position. And again, she's coming to Lake Matthews with Pam Williams, and that is Terry Holt McAndrew. We have Juan Borja Duarte. He will be the new assistant principal at Pachacta Elementary School, and Juan is coming to us, I think, next door, Moreno Valley. Mr. Duarte began his teaching career in 2004 at Ontario Montclair Unified School District, and he also was a dual immersion teacher. He taught 5th grade at Edgemont Elementary. In 2010, he went to Sunnymead Elementary. Sunnymead Middle School, isn't it? That's a middle school in Moreno Valley. And there he's done a whole lot of stuff. This will be his first administrative position. So coming to us from Sunnymead Middle School is Juan Borja Duarte, assistant principal at Pachacta Elementary. Then we have Dr. Ryan Lewis. He'll be the new director for secondary education, 7-12. He began his teaching career in 1997 in New York, Rochester City School District in New York, where he taught grades 4, 7, and 8. In 1998, he told a cute story last night. We had a chance to meet his wife, where he and his wife moved to California for 1 year. How many times have you heard that, right? And 18 years later, Ryan has been in the Corona Norco Unified School District. He has been an administrator for the last 16 years, serving as principal at Licencia Elementary School, Principal Augie Ramirez Intermediate School. He actually opened up that school over there. It's one of their new schools. And most recently, principal at Santiago High School. And so he is coming to be with us as the Director of Secondary Education, and that's Dr. Ryan Lewis. Paul, come on up here. Dr. Paul Gale. Paul has quite the resume. Many of you have met Paul. He has been with us since February as our interim director in research and assessment and evaluation. You'll recall that Daniel went back to home to Dearborn, Michigan, I think is where he is from and his kids are from. And so we have been very grateful to have Paul with us. But Dr. Gale, he started out working at Rutgers University, creating pilot instruments in English, Spanish, and to evaluate literacy programs. And that's where you got your PhD from. Is that correct? From Rutgers University. Yeah. He then worked as an educational testing services, ETS, creating and analyzing the 15 college-level major field tests. That sounds really like a big job. In 2004, he came out here, was hired by Fontana Unified School District as a coordinator grant program evaluator. In 2007, he moved to San Bernardino County office, where he served as the director for research and evaluation at the San Bernardino City Superintendent of Schools, where he was a liaison, of course, with the county superintendent at the time and all of the school districts in San Bernardino County. He, in 2012, started his own business, became a consultant, working with districts and those types of things, helping them with research, assessment, accountability. And as I mentioned, since February this year, here in Riverside, he has been the interim director, and now we welcome Paul officially as the director for research assessment. Thank you very much. All right, and that was last night. It was really nice. It's always exciting to see these folks. What we do is we have a closed session. It's the board and cabinets in there, and they come in one at a time. And everyone goes around and introduces themselves, and then the candidate has a chance to introduce themselves individually as well as professionally. And it's always the board's excited, they're happy. It's fun to welcome them to the Riverside team and the Riverside family. And so that's how it went last night. And we'll be back here shortly introducing the new people that we'll have a chance to bring in on Thursday. More site administrators, I think, mostly, isn't it?
Middle school principal.
Middle school principal.
And 4 more assistant principals elementary.
four more elementary assistant principals and a middle school principal that we're going to introduce on Thursday. So again, thank you, HR, for all the hard work that you're doing. So many people behind the scenes get it ready for when they show up to interviews. I'm very, very grateful to you. All right, Gloria Cowder. She gave a wonderful swan song. What is it? Swan song. The last board meeting. And last night, the board took action on the 2016-17 LCAP, as well as the budget that is linked and approved to that LCAP. And so Gloria's here to talk about that. Thank you, ma'am.
Dave told me to be brief last night, and I was brief because we've had multiple meetings about our LCAP the last couple of months with the board, informing them about our engagement process for our local control and accountability plan, and also our priorities, our goals, the progress that we've had on our goals, and such. So last night, what I did is that I introduced the recommendation that they adopt the LCAP. We had a public hearing on May 31st that we held. We had 5 speakers at that public hearing that talked about our LCAP to thanked us for doing lots of things, especially parents in the community. They felt with the Family Resource Center and different services that they were being heard, that their needs were being met. We had also sunshined the LCAP with our DLAC, our District English Learner Advisory Committee, and our Compensatory Education District Advisory Committee. We are required to do that, to run it by parents and to get their feedback. We got 7 comments during that time, again, thanking us. Having some questions about various programs that we have. We're required to write a response to those, post those online. So that also occurred in the last month. So last night, the board did take action to adopt our LCAP. It's a 3-year plan. It's from 2016, 2019, but with annual updates every year where we engage people again in the LCAP, talking about our progress. We have a widely represented LCAP advisory committee meeting that meets and reviews our progress, gets updates on the LCAP. They represent our various stakeholders in our community. So they approved it for the next 3 years. So along with that is the adoption of our budget for next year. So again, on May 31st, Mays Kakish, our Chief Financial Officer, Chief Business Official, whatever her name is, Mays Kakish, sunshined our budget for next year, reviewed our what we spent, our estimated actuals, and with the board. And then last night was the formal adoption of the budget. As you know, the governor in January releases his budget plan, and then it's vetted through legislatures and community groups and all kinds of those types of groups. And then again in May, there's a revise for the budget. And last time I heard that it was in for approval, which they'll probably meet their July 1st deadline, which is good. Some years we didn't have state budgets until September or October. So anyway, we have a budget and we have an LCAP. The next process is that I send the LCAP to the county, and the county has a pretty rigorous review process. And every year they come back with a period that I missed, or or something that they want changed. It doesn't have to go back to the board for approval, but they go through that pretty rigorous process. And again, the budget goes to the county, and they also review that process. So there's a budget review, an LCAP review. They marry the both, see that they support each other, and those types of things. So that's the next step. Some good news, one of the board members shared with us is that she's been participating in a committee up in Sacramento, and we believe that the LCAP there's going to be a new template next year that will make it much easier to use. And there'll also be some changes in the LCAP in the order. It probably will not be as cumbersome. There'll be some different things. So that will be very, very good. And we're hoping that they'll also identify, or let districts identify, some metrics that we're going to focus on, and maybe lighten our load and let us focus a little bit more on college going rates, reading by third, and all of those different metrics that we have on our LCAP. So that's it.
Thank you, Gloria. The board did ask a question to Mays last night about the budget because, as Gloria said, the governor puts out in January, then there's a May revised, and they said, what's the difference for May revised as it pertains to us? And Mays said, there's really only one. you know, in the January budget, it showed a really small percentage for a COLA, a cost of living increase of 0.47. The May revised, that went to 0. No COLA. But you recall how the governor, we lost, well, we had $100 million worth of cuts in our budget, and they're paying us back. Now that $100 million, I think they've paid us back like $85 million, and then they're still 15 to pay us back. The COLA went away, but they increased the amount that they're paying us back. So instead of owing us 15 million, maybe next year, they only owe us 10 because they're increasing it by 5 million. But all that money goes into the LCAP or the LCFF for local communities to make that decision. So really, it's a wash as far as money that we receive or revenues, as May said, but not a lot of significant changes from January to May. So, all right, then we're gonna have Tim come up last night, the CAC. I'll let him tell you what that acronym stands for. They gave their annual report to the board, and it was well received, and it connects parents with the special ed program. So, Mr. Walker.
Good morning. How's everybody? Everybody nice and warm? I tell you, it's getting hot. I drove by 2 fires on the way to work today in Duarte and Azusa. They're still raging, and the sun was red. It's supposed to be a strawberry moon. Well, it was a strawberry sun this morning as well. Anyway, last night, it is a little hot. Hold on a second. I got this from Dave's office. He told me I could borrow it. Anyway, I wanted to let you know that last night the Community Advisory Committee for Special Education provided an overview. They're supposed to provide a report per their board, what is it called? Their bylaws. They're supposed to give a report to the board. And last night they gave a report. It was very positive. They talked about all of the trainings that were done this year. They put together some trainings, as well as Andy provided some additional trainings for the parents in the special education community. Have much more participation, a positive report given to the board. The board seemed genuinely pleased. They talked about some of the activities they did this year. There was a collaboration between my office and the CAC in putting together the first resource fair at Poly High School. And that was a great event. Many vendors, board members came, and it was a great day. So they talked positively about that. And then the collaboration between the office and the CAC, they gave accolades to Kerry Antrim, the Director of Special Education, and talked about next year and some of the things that they're doing for the community of special education. There's 3 new members of the Special Education Community Advisory Committee that will be taking office next year. So you guys stay cool, keep yourself hydrated today, and have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon.
Can I have my fan back? You know, a year ago, Diane and I hosted a Christmas party in our home for extended cabinet, and Tim showed up wearing an elf hat. And my kids still affectionately refer to the guy with the elf hat. So, they don't know his name, but the guy with the elf. This really works good. Thank you, Joyce. Is this yours? All right, and then the best for last. Kirk Lewis and his team, the board talked about the bond last night and took action on that. So, Dr. Lewis, you'd like to come up, and I'll let you borrow.
No, I can't do that. But it works for Tim. It worked for you, right? Anyways, last night
Matches your shirt.
Last night we talked about the bond process. I'm not going to get through this. Anyways, we started this process back in February of 2015, and basically it was a long exploration process with the board. We did a number of surveys, brought a lot of information to the board. We did a lot of outreach with our community and also outreach within Riverside Unified, talking to principals, talking to the PTAs and the bargaining units, and just developing the understanding of what the needs are. We did a long-range facilities master plan for all of our schools. As I explained to the board, and just kind of a quick review, is that That process was an engagement process that I think is unprecedented in Riverside Unified. We went out to all of our schools. Our architectural teams met with principals, they met with staff, they met with parents, they met with the community. They held over 120 meetings district-wide, and then produced over 500 pages of documentation, including the plans for each school. And those plans aren't real refined. They're ideas that we collected from all of the meetings, and those will be then available for us to look at in the future as we design projects when the bond passes. So we did review with our past bonds. Most of you know Measure B was passed in 2001. It was a $175 million bond. We were able to leverage state dollars, almost doubled that amount. So we completed $350 million worth of work since 2001. The previous bond was 1969, 18.5 million. So a lot smaller, but at that time, those dollars actually were pretty huge. And those funds were used to help build Arlington High School, University Middle School, and Woodcrest Elementary School. So when you look back at the process that we've had in passing general obligation bonds, we've been very, I'd say, conservative and prudent in not doing it too early and doing it when they're absolutely necessary. And so that's good information that we can tell our voters that it's not something we take lightly. We know a tax to the voters is something that is very serious, and we only bring forward when we need to. So the board then took action on putting the bond on the November 8th ballot. We introduced our bond team. We introduced our campaign committee. A big thank you to all the principals who were there to help support the event, because it was really a celebratory event afterwards. We had a little reception because this is pretty huge when you think about it. It's going to be an election to the voters of $392 million. And we will have the ability to go after state funds, assuming a state bond will pass in November as well. So we're all kind of poised and we're set. A lot of work to be done as we move towards November, but I think we're in a good place, and I think everybody's ready to move forward, and I'm looking forward to a successful election in November. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Okay, that was the meeting. Any comments, questions, thoughts? You remember last summer it got really warm in this district office? I think we ended the day early, didn't we? What time is it? Stay cool, drink a lot of water, and if we can't get the air conditioners going today, we'll figure something out. So appreciate all that you're doing. There you go, Elizabeth. Elizabeth is back there saying, yes, go. I need to send you, I'll figure out how to send you. I got this text from a good friend of mine the other day that says, like, here's going to be hot in Riverside today. And on this side, it shows this really hot orange-red fire coming out sun. Have you seen this one?
Yeah.
And then it shows the earth over here. And in the middle, it shows Riverside. We'll figure out how to send that out. But stay cool, stay warm. Thank you for all that you do. We're not going to meet on Friday after Thursday study session. Don't worry about it. In July, it's July the 18th, I think. We'll introduce at that time all the new employees and things such as that. So, as I look over there at my three friends, come here, Gloria, Kirk, and Susan. Is there anyone I'm leaving out? I don't want to leave anyone out. Come here. This is it. You got to stand on this blue dot right in here. So grateful for these and so many other colleagues like them who are starting a new chapter in life. And this will be the last time they're with us for the Circle meeting live stream, and cannot thank them enough.
So long.
Anything you guys want to say?
It's a team. It's a a RUSD team. Been here my whole career.
Yeah.
And I think all of us have.
The word that comes to mind is bittersweet. It's sad, but then it's sweet. So it's bittersweet saying goodbye, but
Yeah, thank you for everything.
thank you for a long career. Very
Yeah.
few.
It's really fast. How many years of service?
36.
Do the math. 36.
Mhm.
You're
39.
39.
39, but 32
39.
in RUSD.
So 39, 39, and 36. How many years of service is that? That's our PhD in statistics right back there.
Rounded.
Over 100 years. Over 100 years of service. So thank you. We're going to miss you. I love and appreciate you guys. Have a great afternoon and rest of the week.